My friends, welcome back to yet another Raichu podcast, episode 12. Wow, we're going strong. This is like the third to last episode because this will debut on the 15th, and then we've got the 22nd, and then the 29th, and then that's the end of the year. Then we jump into the new year and we figure out where to go. But I've been cooking up some things, so I just kind of want to, I guess, I don't know. We're gonna start off with this the early part of this episode, just kind of talking about the state of everything, I guess, for 2025. The end of 2024 and 2025, and what I foresee happening, whether that be changes or things staying the same. We'll chat about it here, and we'll just, I don't know. It seems like a nice thing to kind of talk about the place where the podcast originated from, like about the stream and the community and stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna try that this week because it's a short week for me. So I'm going out of town from Thursday to Sunday. So my only days to do the podcast, because we uploaded the other episode on Sunday the 8th, and so my only days to work on the podcast are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's it. So it's an early week, get it done kind of thing. And I asked people to put in their questions early, so we'll hopefully get some good questions there early on in the week. But yeah, realistically, it's gonna be me, getting through the episode very early in the week and getting it uploaded, or like scheduled to upload, and hooray and stuff. So all right, well, let's just chat about, so the end of the year. We've got a few weeks left in the year, obviously, for streams. I am going to be gone for Christmas, visiting my family. So I'll be missing both streams that week, and then I don't know, because then after that, the next Tuesday is New Year's Eve, right? Yeah, then the next Tuesday is New Year's Eve. I don't know if I'll stream on New Year's Eve. Maybe we'll do like a weird, funky Monday stream that week, like a Monday the 30th farewell to the year stream. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it fully. I guess what I'll probably do is like, so Toshabi's going to be visiting during that time, because he's going to be visiting his family, and then he's just going to pop by here after. So he'll be here for New Year's. So I don't know if he's going to want to do anything, or if I should just stream, or if I should just, I don't know, maybe we'll do like a Monday, Tuesday stream. That I don't know. I'm chewing on some ideas, but we'll definitely do one last stream, since we'll be missing the whole Christmas week of streams. We'll do one last hurrah before the end of the year. What will that be exactly? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But so we'll chew on that. But so that's what we've got for the end of the year. But then going into next year, I mean, what is to expect? I mean, we're gonna finish Kingdom Hearts, which truthfully, I don't know how much Kingdom Hearts we have left. I mean, we've done, what are we, 5-ish episodes in of about 2 hours each, so we're probably 10 hours, or about maybe 10 hours into the game. I don't know. So I mean, it feels like we're making good progress, but I'm sure there's at least a handful of episodes left, most likely, right? Like minimum a handful more. So maybe through January, I don't know. And then beyond that, then we'll probably do something not Kingdom Hearts, because we've been doing Kingdom Hearts for a while. So I'll figure something out. I haven't figured that out. But then, I mean, after that, according to the poll, we're going to do a Chain of Memories at some point, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So we're going to have to do that. And then, I don't know, it's going to be an interesting balancing act, because I think we're going to play more Kingdom Hearts games, but I also don't want, I've talked about this before, but I don't want the whole stream in 2025 and beyond to be just Kingdom Hearts. So I'm going to have to kind of chew on that and kind of see. And I'm going to have to mix in some good, interesting content on the non-Kingdom Hearts days, I think, because, there's a lot of people who probably don't care all that much about Kingdom Hearts. So I'm going to have to keep those off days kind of interesting. Speaking of the off days, it should get more interesting as we move on to 2025, because I'm releasing the Redeem, where someone can pay channel points to get a stream of us playing whatever they want. So that, I think that'll be interesting, but it does have the potential to be not interesting as well because I mean it's as simple as we play a game that people don't like. Like you request someone requests me to play like I don't know, freaking. I honestly could. I don't even want to name a game. I don't want to make anyone sad if I name their favorite game. But like you name something and people don't like that game, well then it's going to be a pretty boring stream for most people. But it has the opportunity to be very interesting because someone can make me play something that I normally probably wouldn't on stream. So I think there's definitely the possibility of interestingness, but there's also the possibility of uninterestingness. But yeah, we're gonna balance that with. I do want to play more horror games. I've talked about that, and we even did a poll in the Discord, and people said, "Oh, right, shoot, you could play more horror games. We'd like to watch that." So that's exciting for me. I mean, you know me, I love horror, and so the opportunity to play more horror games, even if I'm not getting scared, I'm just excited to have the opportunity to play those games because I like the games. But I've always been kind of self conscious that I'm not the scaredy bottom boy who screams at everything in horror games. So like I always kind of thought people didn't want to watch me play horror games. But I guess I've kind of found the fun in it this year that we can still have a good time. Like when we played Hollow Body and we were just kind of laughing, well, not laughing, but we were just like, all right, yeah, there's the jump scare. They did try there. So I think it can be fun. So I'm excited to do that. And I guess just keep going at it. I mean, I don't think anything's going to significantly change. We'll have our normal stream days as we always do. Maybe I'll try to sprinkle in some more surprise streams. I don't know. It's like, so for those of you who are newer, you might think like, how come Raichu never streams on like random other days or like anything like that? And the real reason is because my goal ever since I started streaming was to be able to stream at a rate where kind of like how you keep up with a weekly television show. I didn't want it to be a case of me streaming so much that people couldn't attend and thus, like it feels bad, right? When you, especially for a tight knit community like us, for if you have to miss a lot of the content, it feels like you're missing out, right? Like you're not hip on the lore. Like imagine you're walking like let's say like an episodic show like The Walking Dead, and then like every week you have to miss half the episode, or like you have to miss one of the episodes. They air multiple episodes and you miss one. Like you're not going to be able to keep up with the show. So my goal was always to have a quote unquote show where we streamed at a very consistent time so you could plan your schedule around it, and not so long that you couldn't watch because you have other obligations, right? I mean, you probably do, right? But not an overwhelming amount. Like committing 4 hours a week is a lot of hours, but not an amount like if I streamed every day for 3 hours, like there's no way anyone could watch all that if you have any kind of anything to do in life. So that's always been my goal, and I guess that's what holds me back from streaming on random days. Is I don't want people to feel discouraged because they're missing a bunch of streams. Like I just plop on the stream at Sunday at 8 p.m. and then like half the community misses it. Like I like legitimately I don't care that the numbers wouldn't be great because like people didn't know I was streaming, but I care that people are gonna go. They're gonna see that the next day and they're gonna be like, oh my god, I missed like this episode. And they're gonna feel bad, and like that's always been my goal. And I realize it's kind of it's a very how do you word this? It's a very it's not really an achievable goal, right? Like catering to everyone and ensuring like everyone in your community can watch all your streams is like it's not an achievable goal, and that no one ever has to feel bad for missing something. It's not achievable, but I guess for me it's just always been important that I do what I can do to minimize that. And I completely realize people are probably listening to this and they're like, right, you that is kind of crazy that you like it's normal for people to miss streams. Like why would that be like something that's like on your mind so much? And I don't know, it's just always been on my mind. It's like it's been something important. Like I understand the desire to follow along with a series or a show. And what are we other than a show, really? So I don't know. It's just really, really, really important to me. So I guess maybe there'll be some surprise streams, but knowing me, probably not many. Maybe on occasion we'll do a Sunday stream, maybe, and we'll schedule it out. But I'm very happy with the days we do, and I think part of that too is like I sprinkled in the podcast and now daily YouTube videos so that if you don't if you're feeling like, oh, like I want more Raichu content than just the 2 days of streams, like there's more, but that content can be consumed by anyone at any time, so you don't have to feel like you're missing out. Let's say you have like a busy Sunday, right? And I upload the podcast. Oh no, you can't listen. Well, that's okay. You can listen to any day, like whatever day. It's no big deal. Whereas a stream, the pleasure of a stream is that you can watch and chat and hang out with everyone, right? So I guess it's that was kind of my compromise in being able to provide more content for people that want more content without pressuring people to. And I also don't want to pressure, I guess, people because again, it's very easy to say, well, right, you of course no one's pressured to watch, but I understand that's much easier said than done, right? Like if you're a moderator of mine or if you're a regular, there's going to be pressure that you feel like you need to attend. I mean, I know for me, even if I am hella busy, and I'm just going to use some examples, I know on the weekends, sometimes I have a lot going on, but I still make sure that I attend Game Orca's streams on Saturdays and Otterly streams on Sundays. Like those are just two that pop out because they're on weekends, and normally on weekends I would be not at my PC necessarily watching streams. But like I know, like there's no obligation. Neither of those people are going to be upset or hate me if I didn't show up at their streams, right? But I understand that there's always going to be that subconscious level of, dang it, I should attend because like they're my friend and I'm like, like they want me there and like I want to be there. I don't want to miss out. Like, what if I miss something cool or something? So like, I understand that subconscious feeling, even though I understand practicality wise. Obviously, it's okay to miss streams. Like I would never hold it against anyone for missing my stream, obviously. But I also understand that subconsciously you would feel bad if you miss a stream. So that's also a thing where I don't want people to feel like, oh man, now Raichu streams every Sunday, so now I have to dedicate 2, 3, 4 hours of my Sunday to watch him, like, or else I'll feel bad because I missed it. Dang it. Like, and it's not, I don't know, it's an interesting thought. And I know like everyone here is definitely listening and thinking, well, Raichu, no one would ever be mad at you for streaming, or they don't have to feel bad for missing the stream because it's okay. Everyone has stuff going on. And I totally get that. But I also understand that, again, I think that's easier said than done. It's easy for us to say rationally, yeah, it doesn't matter, like you can miss it. But I totally get it because it happens to me too. So I'm sure it happens to other people as well, where you just sometimes feel bad if you have to miss something. And again, my goal, minimize feeling bad. So I think we'll mostly be on our normal schedule with our YouTube videos, with our podcasts, and maybe occasional bonus streams. I love my wiggly ears, and Tuesday and Thursday, and living our best life. Maybe other special streams on occasion. Maybe some more Saturday events. Which, speaking of events, we definitely want to keep going strong. I feel like our Saturday events have been among their best that they've been. So I'm excited for that to continue, and hopefully we can plan a lot. More stuff for 2025, more birthday parties, more general hangouts among us, and all kinds of video games and different stuff we can do together. Watching movies. I know we've got some movies on the docket we could watch together. So I think that is always good, and I more than welcome you if you wish to put a suggestion of something you would like to for us to do. You can always put it in the stream improvement suggestions or the stream game suggestions. You can just put a note like, oh, I think this is for this is a oh, actually there's a game night game recommendations channel, so I guess you can use that channel. I didn't even realize that channel existed. Wow. In my own Discord. Well, use any of those channels, but feel free to make suggestions. If you would say like, oh, I would really like to do this activity with the gang on a Saturday or something, like that would be fun if we could all do this together or that together. So share your suggestions. Don't be shy. Never be shy in the Raichu community, please. So please feel very, very free to share your suggestions and your desires and what you'd like to do. What would make you attend a game night on a Saturday or a movie night, whatever kind of night, a hangout night with the community? I would love to know. So yeah, we've got that going, and let's talk about the podcast. I mean, for 2025, most likely, I think the bi-weekly discussion, we had a little discussion about it in the Discord after I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Um, but yeah, I think most likely we'll move to a bi-weekly schedule. I think moving to bi-weekly just elevates the or prolongs the life of the podcast, whereas with a weekly schedule, it's like we're going to run out of questions faster. I'm going to burn out. We're not going to be able to have as many guests because like I'm trying to scramble to upload every week. I think bi-weekly just gives me a little bit more time to craft and plan and take notes and get questions from you guys. I think it benefits it's a benefit in all aspects except the fact that you don't get to watch it every week. So maybe on Sundays that I don't upload the podcast, I can upload some kind of special YouTube video or upload a double video. I don't know what the right goal or the right play is, but maybe we can make Sundays a nice day anyway where we get something bonus, but I'll have to think about it. I'll have to chew on what that bonus could be. And if you have any ideas, feel free to post them in any of those recommendation channels that I mentioned. That would be great. But I think most likely we're moving to bi-weekly. I have a few guests in my head that I haven't finalized yet by any stretch, but I have some ideas, and I'm not sure if any of these guests are interested in being on. But I have some ideas that I will put out at some point, hopefully, as we move through the busy holiday season. Because like I said, I'm gone this week, and then I have 1 week where I'm back home, and then I'm gone for Christmas as well. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and so I have to be mindful of that. Just like I'm mindful of the distance of my spell in Kingdom Hearts, I am mindful of all the stuff going on. The good news is the podcast will be uploading as normal, and the YouTube videos will be uploading as normal, despite those hectic times. Speaking of YouTube videos, so we're going strong through Omori. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. If you've been watching, I have been uploading every day. We upload something every day. So in case I never made that clear, every day we upload either a VOD or an Omori episode or or the podcast episode or potentially another clip of some sort that I want to upload. But our goal is just one YouTube video every day, and we're doing good on that. I mean, we're rocking it. We've been going strong for a couple months now, so that feels great. We're gonna keep on rocking that. I'm continuing to play through Omori. It's a very beautiful game, a long game, so we're gonna have a lot of episodes for that. I think after Omori, I think I'm gonna do One Shot. People asked for One Shot in the Discord. That's the one that jumped out at me, and it's also a game that I wanted to play. So I definitely think we'll be doing One Shot after that. Man, there's a lot of stuff I want to do though. That's cool. I think, there's so many games I want to play that I could play on YouTube. I feel like we're gonna be in good shape. We've got a lot of good things. At least in my opinion, I think we have a lot of fun things to look forward to in 2025. So definitely, I am looking forward to that. So I think it's going to be One Shot after Omori, but we have a ways to go with Omori. I'm sure we've got at least a couple more months of Omori minimum, because it's a long game. So I hear. So I found when I Googled. So yeah, we've got a good amount of work, but I've been putting in the hours in Omori and grinding out some videos and getting them uploaded, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying. That's the goal. So, yep. So there's that. So, I mean, those are the big four. I mean, there's four aspects to my Raichu empire. There's the stream, there's the community as a whole, which is basically like our community events and stuff. There's the podcast, and there's our YouTube videos. So those are like the big four. Beyond that, what is to come? Well, I still am trying to. It's on my radar for more merch, and Dockies or Dackies are a popular merch item that people have asked for, and they're on my radar. There's a lot of the problem is there's so many things on my radar that I it's hard to keep up with them, but that's on my radar, and I definitely want to roll it out in the early part of 2025. When exactly that will be, I don't have a goal, although it would be nice to have some for LVFC. I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe if anyone's going to LVFC and wants to buy a Raichu or Raiju, it would be a Raiju. It would be the dragon, would be the Daki that you'd be purchasing. Yeah, I need to talk to Mr. Newbie Kogi about getting that done. In fact, I should probably poke him sooner than later and see if he wants to do that. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. So we've got that. That's exciting. Other merch offerings. I'm always wide open to ideas, guys. I mean, so if you have something you'd like to see, throw it in one of those recommendations channel. It doesn't matter which one. Just throw it in one of them. They're all at the bottom of the Discord, so you'll see them when you scroll all the way down in the Discord. Just throw it in any of them. It doesn't really matter. We have too many. I don't know why I have that many, but throw it in any of them. It'll be okay. But yeah, I do want to roll out more stuff. And I think it'd be cool to just like like a few people in our community already have merch of mine, and I love that. But if there's, if we could find things that people like, so even more people wanted to have a piece of me in their home, I think that would be really neat. So that's just my take. But yeah, we can keep working on that and kind of collaborating on that in general. But yeah, that's my other goal. I guess those are for the most part the big things I want to do. Other than that, I mean, for us, it's kind of business as usual. We're not. I'm very hyper aware of the fact that of my own limitations, I suppose, in the sense of time and the sense of what I'm capable of in terms of where improvements can be made. You guys know, I mean, I talk very, very openly about what my strengths are. And my strengths are being a leader and running a community, and those are kind of the areas where I excel. So we're just, the way to continue to thrive in that area, in my opinion, is just to continue on our regular schedule, keep uploads going, continue to be a nice person, I guess, and continue as we do. We've just talked about it in the last two guest episodes we had, which were Gamework and Kel, and both from a veteran, from one of the oldest members of our community, to one of the newest. Both said almost exactly the same thing about how we're such a welcoming community and how easy it is to integrate yourself into the community. So, from my perspective, and maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but from my perspective, if that's the feedback we're getting, then it means I'm doing my job as the leader correctly, facilitating an environment where we can welcome new people and continue to grow our community and continue to thrive. Because yeah, it really is. It really is cool. I've talked about it a lot, but seeing new prolific members of the community come about and join our community and just fit right in, I think it's really, really, really cool. And I hope that will continue in 2025. I'm sure it will. And so that's kind of the areas we want to focus on. We'll just keep doing our thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Really, it's just an opportunity for us to all hang out for those few hours a week and have some laughs, spend some time together, have some good times. And then on the weekends when we have our community events, we get to spend more time together, and the podcast an opportunity to just kind of talk about the state of my life, and sometimes talk about the stream, sometimes chat with other members of our community and outside. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've been contemplating some people I feel I could have a good conversation with from outside our community that I have a relationship with, who some of them have a loose connection to our community, some of them no connection or not much of a connection. So I've been considering those as well, because we've had mostly people, I mean, not mostly, all people from our community, all pretty prolific members of our community as podcast guests. So I think it'd be interesting to maybe to dip my toes in with some of my friends who are maybe what's the way to say this? Well spoken, and I am very confident we can have a wonderful conversation about streaming and communities and games and all the stuff we talk about anyway in general, but on a different perspective, I guess. People that maybe are only seeing the Raichu community slightly from the outside. I'd love to hear other people's takes, because again, we have our perspective, from people who are active in the community, from people who have been around the community for a long time, but I'd be curious to hear what other people think, that maybe aren't necessarily, they're more adjacent to the Raichu stream rather than directly infiltrated into the Raichu stream. I think it could be an interesting take in that regard. So definitely have some ideas there of people. So we'll continue to work on that. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the goal for 2025 is just going to be to keep doing what we're good at. I've always been a believer, and sometimes people try to push themselves and try to yeah, I understand the need to push yourself out of your comfort zone in some areas, which I've been trying to do, but also you don't want to push yourself too far out of the comfort zone where you're doing something that you have no idea. It's kind of like like you're applying for a job, right? And it's like a job that's pretty similar to your role but has some new challenges and stuff. Like that's good. But if I'm going from like, I'm in finance and I'm gonna go get a job as a scientist or something, like that's very, very different. Okay, I understand the need to try new things, but you kind of gotta at least somewhat think about what you might be good at, or what you might, what's an easier transition. Um, so I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts. Is like I'm gonna try to keep doing what we're good at, and more of the same good vibes and the same good energy and the same good stuff we're putting out. Um, it's hard to commit to much more than what we've been doing. I feel like I've talked about it a lot as of late, but my time is it is maxed out pretty much in terms of what I can realistically, the number of responsibilities I can realistically give myself without having a mental breakdown is pretty dang maxed out. So I'm going to be reasonable to myself there, not push myself too far, so that we can continue to put out content that is good rather than put out more content which is not good. I think I've reached a pretty sweet spot in that I can get good content out without pushing myself too far where it's not good because I'm just so stressed and I can't bear to do anything. So in that regard, I think we're doing a good job. We're running with a thin margin, but I mean, we're still meeting all of our stream obligations. It's funny, we have so much to do. It's like YouTube videos every day. I have to remember we've got our streams, our podcast. I've got to post the podcast form and the reminder on Mondays. I got to post the schedule on Mondays. It seems like every day there's something. Well, there is something every day because I do the YouTube videos. So speaking of which, I better not forget to schedule my uploads before I go out of town on Thursday. That would be tragedy. So hopefully I will remember that. I should probably just do that sooner than later, but I'll bet you I'm gonna wait till Wednesday to do it. So hopefully I don't forget it. Man, there's a lot of things going on in my brain, but it's all right. My brain is, contrary to popular belief, my brain, it's got some space in there. It's got you might think the head is hollow, but the head is not hollow. It is very, very full. But we can fit a little extra in there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's for me is kind of just where we're at with 2025 and what's there to look forward to. So again, I do want to reiterate, because a lot of the time I feel people are shy, but feel free to post. There's a stream game suggestion channel, and there's a stream improvement suggestion. If you wish to push, if you want to put anything in that you would like to see in terms of games, or in terms of maybe redeems, or in terms of something else you would like to see, I encourage you to not be shy, because listen, it might not happen, but there's no harm in saying it. And I won't be offended if you tell me, Raichu, I think you should do this, or you should do that. If that's what you believe, I mean, you guys are the brains behind the operation. I'm the on-screen talent, but you guys are the brains. And, I rely a lot on my mod team to help me out. Like just recently with this new redeem, I had a conversation going on in my mod channel where we were discussing the amounts, and any serious kind of thing that I do for the stream, I rely on the mod team to lend me their brains. So, I guess it's just I need your brains, and there's so many incredibly bright and talented people in many different areas of the stream. There's graphic designers, there's video editors, there's people who are just knowledgeable about games, there's coders, there's a bajillion different things that so many people in our community are talented at. So if you think, hey, this needs to get done, I don't mind hearing your thoughts. And I can't for sure say that it's something I can do, but if it's something that we need to do, I'm not opposed to paying someone to do it if it's something that's needed for the stream, or I don't know. I'm just kind of just thinking out loud here, but in general, I would say the main point I'm trying to get across is don't be shy. If you think there's something that needs to be done, put it in one of those channels. And I know it can be scary to kind of like to give your suggestions, because like, oh, what if I say that and they think I'm an idiot for suggesting that, or they think I'm stupid? I'm always very, very thankful that anyone would give me any amount of their time to give me a suggestion. in any regard, whether it be like a positive suggestion, like, hey, this is really good, like maybe you could do more of this, or like, hey, I didn't like this, like maybe you should not do that, or maybe you might need more of this, or whatever it may be. I'm always open to receiving that feedback, and I hope that you guys will be comfortable providing it because I really value your input, and yeah, it means a lot to me. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I wanted to kick off the podcast, just sort of talking about what's to come for the stream and the community in 2025. But again, feel free to ask like questions if I didn't cover something that you were wondering about for 2025. Oh, ask away in any of the channels really, and just yeah, get let your voice be heard, let your questions be answered because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer your questions. I am. That's me, the question answer, me. One of my favorite things about our community, and it feels like I don't know, maybe it's a thing in other communities as well, but it's very I don't know if flattering's the right word, but it's very humbling. It feels good that like pretty much everyone, for the most part, everyone that has been like there since the beginning is still a part of our community. I think that's really cool, and like the it's not easy to like be a part of something for like years, right? And like life is always crazy. And so I feel like being a part of something for like many years, like in, people in my community's case, it's like people that have been here for like what now 5-ish, almost 5. I mean, we might as well call it 5. Like that's a long time. And to have so many people like that and to have people that have stuck around with us for so long is really cool. And it's always I talk about it a lot, but it's kind of um it's exciting to see like who else, like 5 years from now, people that are quote unquote new now might be at that time veterans, and it's just I don't know, everything just feels exciting. Like it still feels as exciting as it ever did. And I think for me anyway, like streaming has gotten more and more exciting as time went on. It's not like something that has lost its luster, or like having a community around us has lost its luster or anything like that. Like legitimately it feels more exciting than ever. And I think one thing with having the community for so long and watching it grow to where it is now, and like all these cool people and whatnot, I think that's what excites me the most for like when we have new people that join the community and whatnot, because it's like you can see, hey, we have all these awesome people that have been a part of our community for like many years, and like are they're still supporting us after all these years. And it's exciting to see, I guess, what can be and like how awesome that can be, and just kind of I don't know, just think about the future 5 years from now, like the people that could join our community that we don't even know right now. I guess I don't know. That's kind of the way I always live life too. Is the same kind of idea of like you never know when someone like really amazing is going to come into your life, and it's the same thing with with like our community. You never know when someone really amazing is going to join the community, right? And I don't know. I always it's kind of silly, but I've always been super passionate, sentimental. I don't know what the right word is for it, but that's always really excited me. And knowing that on any given day you might meet someone amazing. We could the very next stream, someone like really incredible could just join our stream, and like we don't even know that they're going to be like a vital part of our community. I mean, like just as an example, when Lord Millinor first joined our chat, uh, what? How was that? Well, almost 4 years now. When he joined our chat almost 4 years ago, he took the world by storm. He was like the guy in the stream in 2021 that carried. I am sure, any of our longtime members who are listening to this are nodding their heads in agreement when I say that Lord Millinor carried our stream in the year what year was that? 2021. Like he carried that year on his back. And at the time when he joined, None of us. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I didn't think anything. It was just like, oh, okay, someone random in chats chatting. Cool. I mean, again, at the time, we were a very much smaller community, so it was exciting in the sense that, like, whoa, someone we don't know is joining. That's cool. Like, exciting. But realistically, it was no big deal. It was just like, okay, here's another random guy, and he was really very, very easily the MVP of 2021 and such a vital part of our community. So yeah, I don't know. It's just something I always I think about a lot, and it's something that always excites me in life. In that you never know who you're going to when you're going to meet someone that's going to change your life. I was going to say for better or for worse. That's kind of dark, but I mean most likely for better, right? But you never really know, and that's exciting. Tomorrow we don't know. We don't know. We've got a stream tomorrow. Today is Monday. I know I'm filming on a Monday. Tomorrow is our stream, and we have no idea. Like imagine someone really really cool could join our stream tomorrow and become an essential part of our community, attend every single game night ever, and and be an essential part of our community forever. You never know. We don't know. So we're just gonna. I mean, I don't know. That's for me. That's always been a good reason to wake up, because you don't know. You don't know what the next day is gonna hold. And for anyone going through a tough time, I think that's a. I mean, I think it's served me well in life. So I hope that it might be something that you consider, that you don't know. Something good could happen tomorrow. We don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe tomorrow will be the most average day ever, and we'll just have a very normal stream. It'll be with the same really really cool people that we hang out with every single Tuesday and Thursday. And you know what? If that's the case, hey, who's complaining, right? I mean, that's still pretty dang awesome. So we will see what the day holds. But yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah, it's always something that's kind of excited me, and I think it's a good way to look at kind of uh how things can go, and how how awesome they can be. So, on that note, yeah, I mean, I guess just it's weird that this is turning out to be like a recap. It's not our like a maybe I should have waited until the last episode of the year to like do this full recap. Well, maybe we'll save a little bit for the recap, but I don't know. I think it's been I'm very thankful. I think people, as always, worked really hard for me this year, and I really do have such an unbelievable team here, backing me and supporting me and helping me out along the way. So I'm very fortunate for that, and not everyone has that. So for me, I don't take that for granted, that I have people that are willing to give me their time and help me, and help the stream, help our community. That I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's most important, right? Is helping the community, and making sure our community is thriving, and that the people within it are having a good time. They're comfortable, that they're being treated right, that they're enjoying themselves, that everything's good, that they can have a place to be comfortable in, I guess, because this community really was. I mean, for the most part, technically, I started Twitch streaming before that, obviously, but uh, our community really birthed during COVID and when people were having tough times. And so we always, at least my goal was always like, we want people to have a place where they can escape. And I've talked about it before, but you know, a place where you don't have to think about any bad stuff for that 2-ish hours on Tuesday and Thursdays. Uh, as soon as the stream ends, whatever you're going through, there might be some bad stuff, right? Life is oftentimes difficult, and you might be going through things, and that's it's not fun, it's not easy, and I think we can all relate to that. But at least for those couple hours, you can give yourself a break, and um I hope it is a break, and I know people still have to do work and stuff during it, but I hope it can be at least a little bit of a mental break for you, that you can just relax, you can laugh, maybe you can make fun of how bad I am at video games, but you can just be there and be appreciated too, because I think that's a really important thing, and a lot of people don't. I mean, to be honest, you might I could easily see there being days where people have to go without being appreciated. So I think being in the stream, at least you can feel like, okay, well, at least the rest of the day, like I just did work and whatever, and I had work all day, and no one obviously is like thanking me enough, and I don't feel appreciated. But in the Raichu stream, the goal is always for you to feel appreciated that you because I am very appreciative that anyone would want to spend time with me and hang out in my community in my stream. And so yeah, I don't know, yeah, there's no it's not really a surprise that the Raichu is about appreciation, because I think you guys know that about me, and that it's very, very important for me for people to feel appreciated and to know their worth and to know their value. And I try to not be shy in saying how I'm feeling and expressing my utmost appreciation and admiration for the people who are such a positive influence in my life, because there are many, and I'm really, really lucky for that. Um, and I don't take that for granted. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of my life. So since we've been on the trend of like talking about kind of what's to come in 2025, I just want to, I don't know, I'm going to kind of go through my Steam library a little bit and just name some things. And I guess this is kind of like a bonus for the podcast listeners, that you get to have some ideas of like things that I might maybe do something with in 2024. I mean, maybe at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025. Because I have a lot of games in my Steam library, and I think me naming them here will have some level of accountability that maybe I'll be more likely to maybe play them, because I have aspirations to play many of these games. And I'll be honest with you guys, when the Steam sale hits, I think it hits next week. Oh, I'm going ham. I'm buying. I'm buying. I'm always buying. But anyway, I have Blossom Tales, which Kato recommended this to me a long time ago. I did buy it right away, and now it's in my library waiting to be played. So that's definitely one that I'm hoping to play. Choo Choo Charles. I already mentioned that I mean, I guess we can I share the screen? Yeah, we can share the screen. Hold on. Why not? We can look. Just if you guys want to see my screen while we're doing this. Choo Choo Charles, yeah, I'm definitely excited to stream that. That's gonna be real, real good, I think. I saw Pocat play this like very briefly, but I didn't really pay attention because I wanted to stream it. So I'm very, very excited to play this silly, goofy game. Um, Going down from there, I do want to play Cruelty Squad someday. I was supposed to play this like so many years ago. I was supposed to play this game so many stupid years ago, uh, and I never did. So I hope I will very soon. I need to patch Devour too. Disney Afternoon Collection, I might like to do sometime. I like those games. They're silly little games, so maybe that could be a silly little game. Happy Humble's Burger Farm. I also wanted to have a horror game of this horror stream. I don't know if this is the one streamer or not, but I do want to play this game. Hollow Knight, absolutely. This has been at the very top of my list for so long. Look at all these people that have played this. It's just so long, and I feel like it's such a long game, and that's a challenge for a short streamer like me. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just need to bite the bullet and just stream it at the beginning of 2023 after 2023, I wish. The beginning of 2025 after Kingdom Hearts, maybe. I don't know. It might just be time to do it, dude. I've wanted to play this game for so long. Jack Holmes, I bought this game recently. I want to play this on stream. It looks really, really silly. Let me see if I can show you guys what it looks like. I mean, not silly. It's a scary game. It's probably really, really scary, but it looks cool. So I don't know why I said it looks silly. I'm sure it's not silly. I'm sure it's gonna be very, very scary. But Jazz Punk is a really silly game. I would like to stream this someday. Lower on my priorities list, but this game is really, really silly. Um. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts HD. Oh baby. Oh. It's going down, baby. It's going down. All right, what else do we got? Lunistis, I might play this on a YouTube series. Gamework and I were watching Junie play this, and we both thought it looked pretty cool. I agree. It looks really cool. So maybe a YouTube series. I don't know. Uh, Night at the Gates of Hell. We beat that game already. Suck it, Omori. We're playing right now. Um. All right. Let's see. A lot of these games I probably need to actually put in my Alice would be a cool stream someday. Maybe. A lot of these games I probably need to actually put in my my favorite so I can remember. My 1, 2, and 3 Alone in the Dark speedrun. They're coming, baby. They're on the way. They're on the way. Well, look at King Panda and Game Orca added 4 things to the library. I wonder who would have gifted those 2 exact people these video games. um, where was I? You know, a game that used to be fun. I used to love this game, Altitude. That game was fun. Great game. Um, let's see here. Another Crusade is supposed to be pretty cool, like a Super Mario RPG kind of inspired game. I've heard it's very, very difficult, so may or may not be a good stream game, but I do want to play that game real bad, real bad. I should play Baba as you someday. Yasha streamed this game. I watched Yasha stream this game. I've never seen the game before, but it's pretty cool. Back to Bed. What is this game again? I don't know what this game is. I thought this is a horror game, but it doesn't look very horror. It looks weird. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I just saw this sad Pikachu, and I'm thinking it's a sad game. Baldi's Basics. Oh, I'm such a good Baldi's Basics player. Maybe I should stream this again because my Baldi's Basics streams were kind of lit. I think anyway. I don't know. I think they were. I think I was really, really funny playing Baldi's Basics. We'll see. I'm a big Baldi's Basics fan. I don't know about you guys. I love Baldi's Basics. What do we got? Let's keep going here. Maybe Blasphemous this year means I can uninstall the game. Wow, 22.5 hours. That game took a lot longer than expected. I liked the game, but I'm not 100% on it. It was a good game, but I don't know about a stream game. Sometimes I just make a mistake and I play a game on stream when I shouldn't. Man, Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth is such a cool game. If you guys have never played this game, what a game! What an incredible game! Game Work. If you've never played this game and you need a horror game, wow, what a game this was. What a game. This is originally released on the Xbox, and it is such a... I don't know if the port is just bad or what, getting mixed reviews, because this game is incredible. Yeah, it says a lot of crashes, maybe. I don't know if if people are having issues with the Steam port, but what a game. What a game. Really incredible game. Maybe there's issues with the Steam port. I have no idea. I've never heard that before, but they didn't get good reviews, and that's the only way it would get bad reviews because it is an incredible game. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I know nothing. But, you know. Chain Together is obviously a me game, but I think we're going to collab that, me and some peeps. Oh, Game Orca, you bought the game. I see, Game Orca. I see. All right. Scrolling through. Child of Light was a really cool game. Anyone here played Child of Light? Well, 18 of my friends have. Let's see if there's anyone here that I recognize that would be listening to the podcast that's played it. I always think this icon right here is Chili Max. It's not. It's cute though. Nope. No one that's probably listening to the podcast. Great game though. Really good game. Yeah. Cool game. Cinnamon Fight is the stupidest game in history. The end. It's not. You can't even play it. I wish I could have played this. Wow, July 2nd was when we did this. That's crazy. That's so long ago. Yeah, so for those of you who weren't in the community yet or weren't watching at that time, we bought this game to play because it looked really, really bad. And then it didn't even work. The game wouldn't even start like with people. So bad game. Content warning looked cool. I never got to play it. For a little bit, it was really, really hot on Twitch.tv and people were playing it. I never got to play it with friends Everyone was playing it, and Raichu never got invited to play content warning with anyone. But I would kind of like to. I mean, it's kind of like Lethal Company, I think. But, if I don't get to, no problem. But if I do get to, cool. Oh, we should do a Christmas crab game, maybe. Crab game is really fun. If you guys haven't played crab game, I've done a couple streams of this before. It's a really silly game. It's free on Steam. I always encourage my community to just have it installed because it's a small game, and sometimes we play it together. It's like, if you know Squid Game, it's basically a parody of that. It's not a good game by any means, but it's very, very silly. And I think maybe like a Christmas crab game would be fun. So maybe install the game if you have it, just in case. Just in case. Maybe. Do it. Yeah. Cry of Fear. Should we stream that? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see here. What else do we got? Cuphead. We already did that. That was a good stream series, I think. Hopefully you guys like that. Let's see here. Oh, I got Dark Sector for free. They were doing that giveaway. I remember. I don't know if this game is that good. I guess it's probably okay. Probably won't stream it though. Just going through. Man, I used to have some banger Death Road for Canada streams. You guys remember playing this game? Oh, Chili Mex played the game, so he probably watched my stream of it and liked it. I don't know. Maybe Chili Mex played it before I ever did. This is a really silly game. Maybe we should play it again. It's been 3.5 years since we last streamed it. But I really enjoyed the game. It is a cool game. That's not a bad idea. I think you guys might like that, actually. Maybe we should do that again. You know what? I think we might be doing that. I'm going to put this in my favorites just so I don't forget it exists. All right. Moving on. Doki Doki Literature Club. Sorry, don't get scared. It probably wouldn't be funny. Don't Pee is another horror game. Shabby told me about this game. I don't know if this game is good or not. It's probably going to be like the cheek cleat clapper. I don't know. The one. Booty cheek creek clapper? Yeah, that's the one. Playing the original Duke Nukems would be pretty silly sometime. Those games are rather goofy. Maybe. Could be fun. I don't know. Dust would be pretty cool. I've never played Dust. You guys like Dust? Of course furries like Dust, right? It's got the furry guy. These games are supposed to be, Emily Wants to Play. They're supposed to be pretty cool horror games. Those might be fun to stream. And Isnai, we had that stream, a little over 2 years ago. That was a great series. Really enjoyed it. Everhood's a great game as well. Really, really enjoyed that series. Had a great series, that game. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for the suggestion, Kel Moray. Just looking to see what we're gonna be doing. Oh god, let's play Furry Sex, guys. Who didn't Jazz buy me that or something? Did we play Furry Feet 2 yet? We only played Furry Feet 1? No, I guess we gotta play Furry Feet 2. We gotta play Furry Feet 2. I think that's definitely going down. Well, I think my I love Grim Fandango Remastered, but not a good stream game. That's too hard, dude. That is a difficult game. Hammer Watch Game Work is playing this. Had in Time. We streamed obviously last year. Wonderful game. Really wonderful game. They really knocked it out of the park with that game. Yeah, I gotta give them credit. I was not expecting it to be so Mario 64 coded, and I mean that in the best way. One of the best games of all time. Hylix and Hylix 2, that was a fun little time. Indigo Park? You guys want to see me play Indigo Park? We might have to do it. I've seen so many people play it, but I never really watched too closely so that I wouldn't get fully spoiled. So maybe we could do it. I really want to play Jump King as well. I extremely want to stream Jump King. So maybe we will do that. I hope so. Let's see. La Mulana is another game. I have a friend who's really into this game. And I've never really played it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Probably, right? It'd be a pretty good stream. Layers of Fear. Delicious. What a game. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? Luck Be a Landlord. I've been playing that demo. I already have 30 minutes on the dang demo, and that's like a 2-minute demo. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. Marvel Rivals. Who's playing Marvel Rivals? Whoa, look at all these people playing Marvel Rivals, including Gabe Prower on my friends list. That's crazy. All right. We did Monster Bash, of course, on our YouTube series. Good times. Good times. Night in the Woods, we do probably need to play at some point, but I'm not sure if it's a very right you stream game. One Shot, I already talked about earlier, guys, but this is going down as soon as we finish Omori. Someone said like, "Oh, this is gonna be a Undertale knockoff," but it was so good. I don't remember who said that, but maybe it was during Game Orchis stream on Saturday. We were talking about it. I think. I don't know, but yeah, someone said that, and then they said it was actually incredible. So I don't know. I'm excited. Do we have anything else interesting? I'm not seeing anything. Psychonauts would be a fun stream, yeah. I love some Psychonauts. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I played Psychonauts. I see someone that's a Psychonauts fan right here. Oh, behind my head. Well, you can see the icon. 36 hours. That's a lot of hours in Psychonauts. That's impressive. Pushover. I used to play this game on the Super Nintendo. I think I bought it because I saw it had a Steam port, and I was like, whoa. Not a great game. Decent little puzzle game. This is a really good shoot 'em up, Raptor. Anything else that we see that would be good? And as I scroll through here, if you see something that you think would be good for me to stream, you can yell it out. I don't know if anyone's actually watching. Rugrats Adventure in Gameland. I'm actually supposed to play this game. Should I do this in a YouTube series? Would that be fun? Maybe. I do need to play it. So maybe it could be a YouTube series, but I don't really want to do it after. I don't know. Save Jesus. I can't believe we have an hour in Save Jesus. Should we play more Save Jesus? Wow, July 18th. Isn't that crazy how fast time flies? I swear, I would have guessed like it was like a month ago. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy. How fast this year has gone. What's Shank? I have no idea. Sign of Silence is supposed to be pretty cool. I think this is a multiplayer game, though. I might have to find some friends to play with me. Wow, I have friends that have this game. Whoa. Whoa. I'd like to play this game. I need 3 others. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go to the haunted house, please. This is a cool game. I played this just a little bit back in the day, but it was pretty neat. Sir, you're being hunted. Maybe a stream would be good. Soma. Kato streamed this, right? Yeah, Kato did stream this. Oh, I have Sonic Frontiers? How did I get this? When did I get this? I have Sonic Frontiers. Oh, someone gifted it to me. I think Melon, actually. Yeah, I am supposed to play this. Okay, yeah, I do need to play this someday. Yes. Guys, yes, before anyone says anything, yes, we will be playing this game on stream and or YouTube. I promise. Please don't hurt me. That's going down. We need to play some more Streamers Court. August 29th. That long? We didn't play this during my subathon? Really? We didn't play this during my subathon? Huh. All right. If you say so. Stubbs the Zombie. Who was talking about Stubbs the Zombie? I swear someone was. Who was that? Oh, man, I don't remember. Someone was talking about that, and I was like, I know Stubbs. System Shock 2 would always be a cool stream. I mean, System Shock is just chef's kiss. Kiss the chef. It's a good game. I mean, Tomb Raider stuff would be cool all the time, too. Love Tomb Raider. Turok is great, but I don't know if I'd stream that. Maybe a YouTube series, perhaps. What's Uncanny Valley? I mean, I know what Uncanny Valley is, but I don't know that game. I didn't know there is a game. Huh. Survival horror. Interesting. I was talking about it, but Undertale game might be fun someday just to do for fun. It's been since 2018 since I touched it, so maybe. Maybe someday. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is such a good game, too. Such a good game. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, what a game. Game Orca, if you need like an older horror game to play, there's another one for you. I just called Game Work out in all these games because he's trying to find out what horror games to play for his stream. Vomitorium, we streamed that 3 years ago, and what a game that was. I really enjoyed this game a lot. Great game. Isn't this game good? Wonder Song? Don't people like this game? Oh, Otterly likes it. I'm going to have to go in his DMs 12.1 hours. Get ready, Otterly. When I hang up on this thing, I'm going to be like, hey, what's Wonder Song like? And you're going to tell me what it's like. Maybe I need to stream that or play it someday. I don't know. I've had it in my library a long time. I'll add it to favorites just so I can remember. Telltale Walking Dead is so freaking good, dude. Telltale Walking Dead is so good. Anything else going down? Oh, I should play this game someday. I didn't even know I owned this game now. Let me add this to my favorites. See, games I didn't even know I owned. I don't know what Wuppo is. I just think it's a funny name because that guy looks pretty dang funny. Ukulele, we probably need to play that at some point on something too. All right, well, I think that's the end of the games to potentially play, but yeah, we've got some good ideas. I mean, and if you like I said, if you saw something as I was scrolling through my 700 something games there, if you saw something that suited your fancy that made you go ooh woo, I want to see White Chew play that game, then feel free to yell at me or post it in the stream suggestions or just yell at me, whatever you prefer. But yeah, some good ideas, I think. My friends, yeah, we are back with some questions now. Our second half of the podcast here, and I think we're just gonna jump right in. So the first question is by a mystery person. It says, "Guess who?" And I can't guess. Well, I can guess. I can speculate who it might be because I did see them. I did. Well, I won't get into it, but I think I can speculate who it is. Anyway, it says the question is how to stop being ignored by others, and I think the way I interpret the situation, it's probably it's it, listen, we'll just talk. We'll talk to the person directly, but I think th- there's there's no there's no answer of how to stop getting ignored by others, really, because most of the time that someone thinks that is happening, it's more in their head. And unfortunately, sometimes things can stack up and you can have an unlucky singular stream or a few streams or a few other times where you think you're being ignored because unfortunately someone didn't notice your message or stuff was happening quickly, and so your message was missed. And I just want to kind of frame it from that perspective of like you, like oftentimes, unfortunately, bad luck can happen, and your brain can tell you that that is people ignoring you, when realistically it's just kind of a few bad, unfortunate type situations lined up in a row where oh, that person missed your message because chat was moving really fast, and uh, and then that person missed my message because they were away from their computer when I said hi to them, and they didn't look, or and that person didn't respond to my message because they weren't sure how to respond, and then oh, now there's three like messages in a row that I was ignored. So must just be ignoring me and they hate me. So that's how it is now. They're screw these guys. They're just jerks. So yeah, I just want to kind of emphasize. I understand um, the frustration and the hurt feeling that someone has when they feel like they're being ignored. It does suck. But I just want to kind of frame it from the perspective of, you know what, more than likely, and I guess I mean anything is possible, right? Like it's hard to say like 1,000% sure that people didn't just straight up ignore you, but I can safely say most of the time. And if this is who I think it is, and this is the situation I think I saw, just remember sometimes your brain is mean to you. Unfortunately, all of our brains are a lot meaner to us than any of us deserve. And we all sometimes feel like people are ignoring us or people don't like us or whatever it may be. So I just kind of want to emphasize that and say, you know what, mystery person, um, you know what, like try not to be so hard on yourself. Your brain can tell you something like that, but your brain's probably just being a jerk, and you shouldn't listen to it. You shouldn't let your brain be mean to you because you don't deserve to be have someone being mean to you. So, uh, don't try not to listen to those voices that are telling you those negative things because because you know what, it's not true, and sometimes things happen. People miss messages. Sometimes people are just tired and they just like, I don't know, they just zone out and miss mess. I know I'm probably mismessaged. Probably people think I ignore them sometimes, and just realistically, there's a lot going on in my head at any given time, and there's a lot of messages anywhere I go, and there's a lot happening. So I don't know. That's probably why I miss messages, but I can understand it. It hurts, and it's fair to feel bad. But try not to let your brain have that power to make you feel bad when most likely what it's telling you is not true. In this case, I don't think it's true. I don't think people were ignoring you, at least not around the Raichu community. I mean, I can't speak for anyone anywhere else, but I don't think in our community people are ignoring you. I don't think our community goes out of their way to ignore anyone. I think our community is actually very goes out of their way to make sure that no one has to feel ignored. So I don't obviously I can't speak for what's happening outside of this community, but just for this community, everyone is everyone's pretty dang supportive, and I think if a few people seem like they were ignoring you, it's probably just bad luck. I would try again next stream, and most likely people will not you won't have that same feeling. But I understand again when you're stressed or when you're dealing with stuff, your brain can lie to you and make you think that people are ignoring you and they're really not. So that's kind of my answer. I don't know if it's an answer that helps or if it's an answer that you want to hear, but that's just kind of my thoughts. So yeah, thank you. Guess who, mystery person. Alrighty, moving on. And I did look at this question and I was shooketh because it is a positive question from our resident mean guy, Game Orca. Just kidding. He's a very nice guy, but he role plays kind of like how how I like play a himbo on the internet. Game Orca plays a mean guy on the internet, but he's actually like a really nice guy, and I'm actually not a himbo. I'm actually relatively intelligent. But anyway, this is a lovely question. Game Orca says, "Do you listen to video game music in your spare time? And if yes, what's your favorite game at OST? Not including Chrono Trigger, but please talk about it." Oh, not including Chrono Trigger. Okay, well, get it out of here. Just kidding. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say Chrono Trigger is my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. And the funny part is like how into the Chrono Trigger OST I am is I have a CD of the soundtrack and like a physical CD. And I remember when my grandma was alive, when I was a young kid, I would go in her car and play the Chrono Trigger soundtrack in the car for her, and it was really cool, and she actually really liked it. Like there was like certain songs, like I remember one of the songs, and this is probably not going to mean much to most of you guys who have not heard it, but Specchio's theme, she really liked that song. She liked Peaceful Days, which is like the dun 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 new 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 new. She liked a lot of the songs from Chrono Trigger, so I think that's like it must be a sign of a good soundtrack, right? If like old grandmas like it. But great soundtrack. But yeah, I mean, I love video game music. I definitely am a huge video game music fan. I listen to all kinds of video game music. I would say from all eras. I love a lot of Super Nintendo soundtracks. Super Mario RPG, the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Those are a couple of my favorites. Donkey Kong Country 2 in particular is one of the all-time greatest soundtracks in my opinion. That's one I can listen to all day. Fantastic soundtrack. Classic other stuff, Earthbound, even like Super Metroid, um, many Final Fantasy games, too many to even count. N64 has some great soundtracks. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie, I think, has a phenomenal soundtrack. Conker's Bad Fur Day has a phenomenal soundtrack. There's a ton. I mean, and then you don't even then we're not even getting into to like more modern games like Celeste. Like I have the Celeste vinyl box set. That cost a lot of money too, by the way. But I love that soundtrack. So I have that. I mean, there's so many. I love video game music in general. Sea of Stars, that's a great gaming soundtrack that you hopefully you can play the game. Um, yeah, there's so many. I mean, Omori, I'm really loving the soundtrack. That's the game I'm playing right now. Super enjoying that soundtrack. I'm just gonna look and see if anything jumps out at me. I'm looking at Steam. You know, a game Terraria has a good soundtrack too. I like the Terraria soundtrack. I'm just kind of looking at my Steam to see if anything jumps out. Of course, the Alone in the Dark 2 soundtrack. I mean, I really do unironically love the Alone in the Dark soundtracks. Um, but yeah, for me, I mean, I think it's very spread out. Maple Story has some good songs too. I was just looking kind of at my Steam library. But yeah, for me, it's super spread out. I like old. I don't know if I like much music pre Super Nintendo. In terms of like stuff that really stands out to me at least. But mostly Super Nintendo to present day. Shoot, I mean, Blatcher's soundtrack is banging. Uh, there's a lot of great music and more games that I need to play that probably have really good soundtracks, like Hollow Knight. That's a game I've been wanting to play, which I'm pretty darn sure that has a dang good soundtrack. But I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm excited to, and I'm pretty sure it has a banging soundtrack. Castle Crashers was a soundtrack I used to listen to a lot. I don't know if you guys have played Castle Crashers. That is a heck of a good soundtrack. Child of Light, that's a great soundtrack. I mean, there really is so many, and yeah, I'm a definitely video game music lover. Cuphead, that is a cool soundtrack too. I am a huge video game music lover. I'm just kind of going through still to see if anything super jumps out at me. Shoot, even like Duke Nukem 3D has a good soundtrack, a cool banging soundtrack. And Is Nigh has a cool soundtrack. What's that other game? Super Meat Boy has a pretty dang cool soundtrack. Um, yeah, there's so many. There really is. So Chrono Trigger is an easy answer for my favorite, but I like a lot of soundtracks from that era and beyond. Brave Fencer Musashi, which is a game I streamed, is one of my all-time favorite games, and I think the soundtrack for that game is absolutely incredible. Yeah, like I already mentioned, many Final Fantasy games, probably 9 being maybe my favorite soundtrack. But it's close. There's a lot of competition. And shoot, even Kingdom Hearts, I mean, I'm enjoying the music. I know. It's crazy. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that jumps out to me super. I mean, I could turn my head and look at my game shelf and just see if anything super jumps out at me. Castlevania, yeah, Castlevania has some banger soundtracks as well. Symphony of the Night, even Castlevania 4 has some bangers. I'm just looking, seeing what maybe jumps out at me. I like Sonic soundtracks. There's some good ones. I guess, we didn't even talk about Mario, but Super Mario 64, one of the all-time best soundtracks easily. I am really actually surprised it took me so long to mention Super Mario 64 because for me, that is definitely, I would say almost certainly in my top 10 soundtracks. I love Super Mario 64. And I mean, on that same note, Paper Mario, I think, has a wonderful soundtrack. Thousand Year Door, beautiful soundtrack. There's a ton, and it's just kind of funny, and you kind of start going down the rabbit hole. Mystical Ninja on the N64, okay, another game I streamed. Really great soundtrack. Love that soundtrack. I don't want to play that game again too. But yeah, it's just there's such a massive amount of stuff. Like I'm looking down to see if anything catches my eye as far as even like Phoenix Wright. I always compliment GameWorks' starting screen music, which is from Phoenix Wright. I am I'm a big fan of those soundtracks. I think are good. Let me take a quick look. I'm still looking at my shelf to see what jumps out at me. Secret of Mana, that's a great soundtrack on the Super Nintendo. Looking. I mean, I think we covered pretty good. Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo is another great one. And then, I mean, you can even go back to games like Doom. Like, Doom has a freaking banging soundtrack, dude. Like, there's a lot. And there's such a variety. One Shot made me think of Undertale, which, by the way, Undertale, one of the all-time soundtracks in my mind. Absolutely phenomenal. And, alongside Undertale is Deltarune. But yeah, Undertale is such a game that really deserves some credit for its soundtrack. Like something that just every sound. I mean, I feel like every single literally every single song in that game is such a banger. It is crazy. Psychonauts has a great soundtrack. Um, let's see. I'm just continuing to scroll. I'm not all the way through my list. There's I mean there's so many. Sega Genesis Rocket Knight Adventures. That's a great soundtrack. And it's just funny. I have so many video games. Like I could literally go through. Spyro has a great soundtrack. I haven't listened to a lot of the songs in a long time, but the ones I have heard more recently, that's a banging soundtrack. So I guess to answer the question, I don't. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a specific one, and I'll be like, "All right, Earthbound time. Let's listen to some Earthbound." But oftentimes, it's literally just I'll crave a certain song from a certain game, and then oftentimes I fall down the rabbit hole of like, oh, let me listen to like this song I like from this game, and then I listen to that, and then I'm like, oh, but what about this song from that game? Oh yeah, and like I'll end up in that. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but I end up in the YouTube rabbit hole where like it shows me the related songs, and then it'll show me another related song I like from another game, and I'll be like, oh yes, I forgot about that song. Yeah, that's a great song, and I just kind of end up in this rabbit hole of like listening to a ton of amazing songs that I really like, and yeah, I think that's really cool. For me, video game music has always been a core part of me, and I'm sure it will continue to be. And I'm glad that even modern games, old games, and the beautiful thing is right, like you know you're always at least for me, I'm always learning about older games too uh that I never really knew the soundtrack before, or like I didn't really know the game well enough. And so it's really exciting to like you find this game and you're like, wow, this has a really, really good soundtrack. That's crazy. I never knew that. So I like learning. I like finding new soundtracks, and I like when people suggest me soundtracks. So if you have a game that you like that has a really banging soundtrack that you think I should hear, hey, let me hear it. I'd love to give it a listen, and maybe it'll motivate me to play the game too. So for me, I love video game music, as I said, and I always love learning about more video game music. All right. So, question three comes from Ross Coolcat, and it says, uh, "Are there any favorite RPGs of yours?" And let me tell you, I I was excited to answer this question because I mean I don't know if it's known. I feel like it should be a known thing, but then again, sometimes I have main character syndrome, and I think everyone should know everything about me. Um, so maybe you don't know. So yeah, I am RPGs are probably, if not my favorite genre, they're right in the consideration for my favorite genre. And my top two, really my top three favorite games of all time are all RPGs. So I actually pulled up a list because one time I made a list and of my all-time favorite video games, my top 50. And this was a few years ago, so it's a little probably out of date, but just kind of going through the RPGs in those, and I'll just start at the top and go down the list. So at the very, very peak top, we have Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger, my two favorite games of all time. And I talk about those a lot and how they're kind of interchangeable for me in terms of my like top two games. Yeah. So I guess Chrono Trigger. I'm pretty sure was the first ever RPG I played, and thankfully I got lucky, and it's really the quintessential RPG experience. I feel like, and so for me, I got to see what an RPG was like, and it was perfection, like absolutely flawless. And then I played Super Mario RPG, which is like it's an RPG, but it's way, way, way different, obviously, than Chrono Trigger, and it kind of taught me as a kid, like, oh, like this is a genre of game, like you can do different things with it. Like every RPG I ever play is not going to be like Chrono Trigger. They can do different things and still have that RPG vibe, but not do the exact same thing. So that was kind of mind blowing to me as a young lad. And I've talked a lot about those games, so I don't know if I really need to go into more about them. But I mean, I think they're both absolute masterpieces. They're lighthearted. They're it's I guess it's the two moods of Raichu, right? Chrono Trigger is for me the ultimate adventure, like the number one, like for me in terms of an adventure in what an adventure should be. Like the novel I wrote had aspects of Chrono Trigger that inspired it. And for me, Chrono Trigger really is the adventure experience. Like there's nothing more epic than Chrono Trigger's adventure, and I don't know if anything ever will top that for me. So for me, it's the quintessential adventure experience. So if I want that feeling of going on an adventure, Chrono Trigger will always be my choice, right? Because it doesn't get any better. On the other hand, Super Mario RPG is just such a perfectly light-hearted RPG experience, and it's the perfect amount of there's stakes. It's a serious game in terms of like what you're trying to accomplish, but it's so lighthearted, jovial. The characters are just so fun. Like, I reference Johnny Jones all the time. Johnny Jones, aka Jonathan Jones from Super Mario RPG, might be like one of my very all-time favorite video game characters, easily. I mean, I don't even know about might. Like, I love that character. He's an amazing character. And it's just so lighthearted, fun, and introduces new characters to the Mario series. And like it wasn't the first Mario game I played as a kid, but it showed me like what a Mario game can do, and like how you can have a world where all these beloved characters that you already know and like can kind of form this game, and then you add new characters, and it's like mind blowing. It really is, and it's such an amazing experience. The remake came out last year, and GameWorks asked me on the stream yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Hey, have you played the remake? And yeah, I mean, for me, I don't pre-order games very often because, like, I have a lot of games, so I don't really need to buy games when the second they hit the shelf. Super Mario RPG, I pre-ordered and picked up from GameStop on opening day. I have not done that with a game. I can't think of one ever. There probably was one at some point, but I can't think of any ever. And I got it, and I think it took about 4 days to beat, which might seem slow, but for me, that's a lightning speed. So yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible game. One of my all-time favorites. So going up the list from there, Paper Mario is there. The first Paper Mario game is a game that I hold really, really dear to my heart. And for me, it was a game where, after Super Mario RPG, I wanted more. And so playing this when I played that game, I was worried because, like, how can you live up to such an amazing game, right? At that point, I was already obsessed with Super Mario RPG. So how can this other game possibly live up to that? And then I played it. And I know some people don't like Paper Mario, like the first one, that much, but for me, it crushed it. I mean, I fully admit that, in my opinion, it's not as good as Super Mario RPG, but as a game, like, it absolutely crushed it. Like, I really, really, really expected it to not be good compared to Super Mario RPG, but guess what? It was a masterpiece, and it's a game I love so, so, so much. And it's a game I continue to play, and I continue to go back to. I just streamed it last year. It's such a game. Next up, we have, just going up the list, we've got Brave Fencer Musashi, another game I streamed last year, and it's a little different. It's an action RPG, and as a kid, I was more of a turn-based RPG, and I still am. I like turn-based RPGs; they're my preference. But when I played this, I was like, "Whoa, an action RPG! Like, first off, that's crazy, but this game has such a world too." And I highly encourage anyone listening that hasn't played it to give it a shot someday, hopefully. A lot of you guys got to watch me stream it last year. It's just a fun, lighthearted game, and it holds up well compared to many, many of the games that I played where, after all these years, maybe it's not that great. I think Brave Fencer Musashi holds up really well. It is just a captivating world, and it's fun combat. The places you go are cool. It's just a nice game. It's a good vibe. It has good voice acting. It has freaking Steve Bloom voice acts. Like, a random insignificant-ish character is voiced by Steve Bloom. Okay? Steve Bloom, who's like should be the lead in anything he does. He plays a very insignificant character in this silly little game made by Square Enix 20 plus years ago. And that's amazing. And I didn't know that when I was a kid because I didn't know voice actors and stuff. So when I played this as a little kid, I was just like, okay. And then when I played it again as an adult, I was like, That's freaking Steve Bloom. What the hell? So yeah, pretty amazing. All time great game, really. After that, Pokemon Yellow. I mean, Pokemon games in general, right? Need no introduction. I mean, they're another quintessential RPG experience that most everyone has played a Pokemon game of some sort. Pokemon Yellow is the one that had it's a Pikachu game. Come on, I'm the Raichu. You have to know I love that game. But there's so many Pokemon games that I love. Soul Silver is a phenomenal game. And another one of my favorites. And but I mean, I don't get me started talking about Pokemon games. We'll be here too long. But too good, too good. Um, Moving up the list, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Again, needs no introduction. I mean, it again. How can you do better than Paper Mario? You make the Thousand Year Door, and while I don't personally like Thousand Year Door as much as Paper Mario, the first one, I'm fully willing to admit that uh, it's probably objectively a better game, and it really is a masterpiece. And I'm glad that a lot of people have gotten to play it. As they made the remake this year. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I hope that more old games continue to get remade. Chrono Trigger remake? Maybe. You never know. So yeah, moving on from there, Final Fantasy V, another game that I really love, and I've talked about it. I like Final Fantasy games, and Final Fantasy V is in this list. I put it as my favorite, and I think it's always for me been in contention for my favorite, along with 6 and 9 are my other two favorites. Those are always the top three I give when someone asks me what my favorite Final Fantasy games are. And I just love it. I mean, it has nostalgia for me, but I just think it's a really cool adventure. It has Chrono Trigger vibes for me in a lot of ways, and that's the biggest compliment that I can give a game. So I really love Final Fantasy V. I kind of want to play that soon. I don't know about streaming it, but I do want to play it. I don't know. There's so many video games I want to play. Can I just win the lottery and then I'll just, occasionally stream for you guys and, we'll do the podcast occasionally, but I'll be rich as hell and I can give you all money and won't that be cool? That's a great idea, right? Right? All right. I hope so. After that, Pokemon Silver, we already sort of talked about that, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Pokemon Gold and Silver and the remakes, of course, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Masterful, masterful, masterful games. Incredibly well done. Another game, I probably picked those up on launch day, I'm guessing, because I remember when those came out and little old Raichu was at the GameStop getting them. I was very excited. Next up on the list, Final Fantasy IX. Again, we talked about it, but Final Fantasy IX was such an adventure when I was a kid, and I remember experiencing it for the first time, and it just felt like an epic adventure. It's up there with Chrono Trigger in terms of just being what I define as like an adventure. Like you're crying, you're laughing, there's just so many different emotions you're feeling. It definitely gave me the most feels, I feel like, of any RPG since Chrono Trigger in terms of an emotional story. It really is. If you've never played Final Fantasy IX. Truly an emotional story. So, yeah, for me, definitely in the running for my favorite Final Fantasy game. At least they're in the top two. So scrolling up a wee bit here on the list is, and I mean, I don't think we can count. I mean, you could loosely count. I've got Majora's Mask and I've got Ocarina of Time in here. I guess you could loosely call them an action RPG, but not really, right? I mean, there's certain elements of RPGs, like you're getting more stats, aka health, but really, I don't think anyone really considers those RPGs, do they? But if we wanted to, they're on there. So then we have Golden Sun, another one. I mean, a game that really I think that's the game that really let me know, like, wow, you can make a banger RPG on a handheld. Like, really? That's crazy, right? Because I'd played banger RPGs on home consoles, right? But playing Golden Sun and having like a Game Boy Advance and being like, wait a second, you're telling me that you can have an RPG that's this good on the go. Like I remember playing this on an airplane on a trip and being like, I am literally playing this game, like this amazing, masterful RPG on an airplane on my Game Boy Advance. And like, that is pretty dang frickin' crazy. So yeah, I mean, again, a game that needs no introduction. If you haven't played Golden Sun, I would highly recommend it. Really, really phenomenal game. Great music, great characters, great battles, a great adventure. And it seems hard to do on a freaking handheld to make an RPG this good, but somehow they did it. I don't like the second one as much, but it is pretty dang good still. It's impressive that they did that good with both entries on a freaking handheld. So uh and from there, the last RPG, the true last true RPG on my list is Final Fantasy VI, of course, aka Final Fantasy III on the SNES. So yeah, they for those of you who don't know, they released in America Final Fantasy III, or they released Final Fantasy VI, but it was labeled as Final Fantasy III. So as a kid, if you played Final Fantasy III, you're like, oh, I played Final Fantasy III, but that's actually Final Fantasy VI. A little confusing, but yeah. So I mean, again, a game that needs no introduction. So many people love that game, and it's many people's favorites. Is it my favorite? Most likely not, but it's always in my top three. And ever since I first saw the game as a kid, I was like, whoa, this game, cray cray. Some honorable mentions. I mean, there are so many more, but I love the Breath of Fire series, especially the Game Boy Advance ones. I've played those a ton. Um, those are great games. I don't know about in my top 50, but what are lists really like this? I mean, I played Sea of Stars this year, absolute banger RPG. And there's really so many RPGs, but I hope that gave you a little teaser of some of my favorite RPGs. Since the question said, are there any favorite RPGs of yours? Yes, those are a handful. I couldn't even tell you how many hundreds of RPGs I own. I own so many. And, I streamed Bug Fables a couple years ago. That was a really amazing game. And yeah, there are so many RPGs that I really adore. I love the genre as a whole. Some of my favorite video game music comes from RPGs, and some of my favorite gaming experiences. I just don't love streaming them because there's a lot of text, and I don't do well in slow reading text type stream experiences. So I like to stream things that are more actiony. But thank you, Ross, for the wonderful question. I appreciate it, and yeah, thank you. All right, moving on to our next question from the man, the myth, the legend, Chinex. All right, so his question is, it's a thought provoker, guys. So let's get our thoughts. Let's provoke those thoughts. Are your thoughts ready to be provoked? Well, if they're not, then you better get them ready. So Chili Max's question reads as follows: a question that might be too generic / broad to be properly discussed about, but hopefully it still brings some interesting thoughts. What do you do when you feel out of place, whether it's in a small / awkward way or a huge / unsettling way, which brings your mood down by a lot in any sort of social situation? So I think it's a very a common sentiment that many people can attest. I mean, I think it might be a bit of a bold statement, but I think probably everyone feels out of place sometimes. So for me, what I usually do, and I guess there's a lot of different ways that you can feel out of place or situations, I guess. The easiest one is probably online. Sometimes, I'm in group chats and I'm in streams. I'm in all kinds of places around, obviously. And sometimes I will be in those places and then I will feel, whatever bad feeling, out of place, whatever the feeling may be. Sometimes it's hard to place it as exactly that you feel out of place per se. But sometimes you just feel off, and it could be tied to feeling out of place. And so what I do in those situations is the easy option, which I feel like is a pretty straightforward and expected answer, but I kind of take a step away. I maybe go watch some YouTube videos or I go listen to some music. I do something away from that social situation, whether it be someone's stream or a group chat I'm in or something like that. And I think it's probably pretty obvious. Sometimes I will be in those situations talking, being the little yapper that I am. And then for whatever reason, I might feel a little out of place and I go poof. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not, I'm no longer, the little yapper Raichu is no longer yapping. So for me, I tend to just give myself a break from those situations when I'm feeling a little out of place, take a step away, do something else, and come back maybe a bit later with a fresh mind and ready to give it another shot. So yeah, I think I think, yeah. So, I'm just reading through the question again to make sure I understand. But yeah, so like basically, that's the easiest option, right? However, there's different situations, like real social situations, like in person, like at a con or something. And I mean, I think the same idea works sometimes for cons. I will just go and for me, I don't like to be like in my room. For example, I know some people might like that option, so maybe you take the approach of like, I'm feeling out of place, I'm going to go and sit in my room or something. That's fine if that works for you. For me, I tend to just go and do some stuff solo and kind of like roll solo a little bit and just kind of live a solo life. I mean, I've always been very good at doing things on my own. I go to movies on my own. I go to eat out at restaurants on my own. I'm more than okay doing things on my own when the situation calls for it. Um, even when I was in a relationship, if I was in a situation where I needed to go to something alone, or like the only option was either to like not go anywhere or go to somewhere alone, like I have no problem going and doing something like that on my own. So yeah, I think just roll solo for a bit, whether that be rolling solo to your room to hang out, or whether it just be roll solo around the con. If you're in like a social situation like that, I think that's the way to go. So really, I mean, we all feel out of place sometimes, and I think there's no escaping that. Obviously, right? It's gonna happen regardless. Period. And so the best thing you can do for yourself is just to do whatever works for you, and like I think in this case the best route is generally just taking a break from that situation if you're feeling out of place. I'm not I and this almost feels like too easy of a question because I'm not really sure there's any other option. You know what I mean? Like what are the other options you can do? Like get over it? But no, I mean, I think that really it's a straightforward um pretty straightforward answer is take some time to yourself, let your brain reset, because it's kind of like, I mean, I think it's kind of like rebooting your brain. A lot of the time you feel out of place, like, and I can almost guarantee anytime I feel out of place, probably no one else is thinking that I'm out of place. But it's just me, right? So think of it like a system reboot, like you're restarting your computer. So reboot yourself, take a little time away from that situation, reboot yourself from that social situation or that social gathering, whatever it may be, and take a little time for yourself. And I've always been one to do that for myself when I needed to, and it's had good results for me. And I think anyone would understand because I've had to be the one who comes back to a social situation and people go, "Where were you? Like, are you okay? Like, what? I was worried you were gone." And that's totally okay. And I've never had any reaction except understanding when I would just say, yeah, I was feeling a little out of place or a little out of it or whatever verbiage you want to use. I was feeling a little off, and so I went to kind of go reset a little bit. And I think anyone can relate to that. And I think if you had that kind of situation crop up where you needed to take time for yourself, and you can also do it proactively. You don't have to do it where you're like you don't. They're wondering where you are. You can message if you have a trusted person in that group or something, you can just text them or message them and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a little time for myself. I'm feeling a little off." And that's more than okay. And honestly, like if I was hanging out with friends and someone needed some time away, I totally get it. And I would hope that they would message me and just say, "Hey, Raichu, I'm feeling like a little off and I need some time for myself." And my response would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry you feel that way. And looking forward to having you back when you're feeling up to it because yeah, we love having you here." And a little reassurance. So you get a little bonus reassurance, and you can comfort them, in that situation. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, the simple answer is take a step away from that social situation and give yourself a little time to recharge because we all need to recharge sometimes. It's just how it be. It's just how it be. It would be nice if no one if you didn't ever need to recharge and you never ever felt like you had to ever had to step away or complain. That would be wonderful. So, unfortunately, realistically, you're not allowed to feel bad for your like. Don't feel bad that you need time away because every single person does. Um, it happens. It really does. I promise. I promise. So don't think that you. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just don't think that there's anything wrong with you for feeling like that, because I think literally everyone does, and it sucks, but everyone's understanding. At least in my case, I mean, everyone's really nice to me always. Thankfully, I'm very thankful for that. But everyone's always been understanding when I've dealt with that. So, yeah. All right. Next question from I love this name, Game Worker. Their name, as a little spoiler to the question, their name is Edward Karnborka. Beautiful. And their question is, since we just played Alone in the Dark, what's your favorite thing about watching someone's first playthrough? Favorite jump scare / reaction to a game mechanic or area of the game? That's a wonderful question. And so for me, right, I've been thinking about it a lot, because I realized, like, stuff like that, like watching you play that and others that I've had played in the past and others that I've had play other games that mean a lot to me. Um, what stands out is just it feels nice to be knowledgeable about something. So one of my favorite things is just knowing, like, being able to be helpful. I'm someone who wants to be helpful, and I like being able to be helpful in most situations. Debatable whether I can be helpful, but in general, I like being helpful. So it feels good to be able to say, "Here's what you do," and confidently be able to tell you, "Here's what you do," because I talk about it a lot, but my memory in terms of games is not great. Like, there's games like Half-Life. I've played 20 or 30 times in my life, probably. I love Half-Life. But, like, I couldn't walk you through everything you need to do at every step. Like, if you said, "Do you go right or left here?" I'd be like, I'm not really sure. Whereas something like Alone in the Dark is one of the few games that I know well enough that I can actually walk you through the entire game. So it feels very nice to be knowledgeable about. And I think for me, it's just, I don't know, like, my favorite thing about watching someone's first playthrough is just that bonding experience with someone, because the people that I usually have that experience with are people I care about a lot. And so it's just a nice bonding experience. It's always great to enjoy something that you really enjoy alongside someone that you really enjoy watching on stream or being in a call with, whatever it may be, right? I remember the first time I ever showed Toshabi's brother Alone in the Dark, and watching him play it for the first time in person. And it was a similar kind of feeling. It's just a cool feeling to be able to share something you really like with someone you really like. So I guess that's my favorite aspect. Favorite jump scares and reactions. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I don't really get a lot of joy out of people getting scared or jump scared. Like, I don't want you guys to be scared. I'm sensitive, which is funny, right? Because it's like, haha, Right Shoes like wants us all to play horror games, which I do, and it's weird that, like, the I don't want you to be scared though, but I do want you to enjoy the game. Does that make sense? But I did think the jump scare, the first time the chicken jumped through the window, was a really adorable jump scare. Um, which, that's kind of the quintessential one that's supposed to get everyone. That's like the Resident Evil dog jumping through the window thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure Resident Evil dog jumping through the window probably took that from that first scene in Alone in the Dark, because the game kicks off and you might think you're safe. Like, okay, cool. I don't see any enemies here. But then the enemies appear, which is a really cool thing, right? Isn't that a cool idea? Like, that you start this game. Imagine starting that game for the first time. You're like, okay, here's a room, and there's no enemies. I can't see any enemies, so I'm safe, right? Nah, nah, nah. You're not safe. So I liked that one. And in terms of another funny one, I think, was when the spiders came running down and you got eaten alive by spiders. That was cute. The portrait throwing axes at you, that was funny. But there's just so many things. I mean, you can't limit it to one or two or three or any amount of things. I mean, I think having to do platforming is freaking funny when you randomly, oh, I got to do platforming now. That's really funny. Uh, I mean, those situations that I previously mentioned, of course. The library is an interesting one, which you crushed it pretty dang good in terms of place in the book and whatnot. So that was good. Um, really, and I mean, you the ballroom, the little dance hall where the monsters were dancing around. That was funny. There's just so many moments in that game, and I think, again, it just comes down to how the person enjoys the moment and how they react to the moment is a big play in it. So those are the areas where you thrive, but I don't think necessarily the answer would be the same for whatever person or whoever I was watching in their first playthrough. I think it hits different for different people. And you know, I don't know. I think just as a whole, that experience on Saturday was I say this endearingly, it was one of the best, easily one of the best. And I could make an argument. I could write notes down why I think it might have been the best uh Alone in the Dark first time experience I've had with someone. It was just a really fun time. And you crushed it out of the park with the game. So yeah, I mean I already advertised it on stream, but if you guys didn't get to watch GameWorks' VOD of that, you should watch the VOD. It's pretty. If you like watching me play Alone in the Dark, you will really enjoy this video. It was a good one. So yeah. But yeah, I guess I didn't really answer the question necessarily to the full extent, but hopefully that kind of gave an idea. In general, it's just enjoying any kind of media, whether it be a movie or a book or a game or like a board game, or like a video game, any of that content, sharing it with someone that you really like is always a joy. And for me, that's the best part. Is like I wouldn't go up to like random streamer I don't know or don't like. Like I don't want to watch random ass person stream Alone in the Dark. I won't really get anything out of that, I'm pretty sure. But being able to share something that means a lot to me with someone that means a lot to me is a very nice feeling. And I think that's my favorite thing about sharing games that and a lot of them are horror games like Alone in the Dark, Devour, even Spooky's House of Jump Scares. I'm scared. We've had a few of those on the GameWorks stream even, but just in general, it's nice to share things you like with other and hope that the person that you're sharing them with also likes them. And so I guess that's part of the joy of that, the fact that you really enjoyed Alone in the Dark and the experience on Saturday. That's a good thing. That's a good feeling, right? It's a much better feeling than if they say, "Damn, I really didn't enjoy that game." So I'm glad that you didn't put it on your blacklist and you had a nice experience. And I'm exponentially looking forward to the rest of the series and watching you play them. And yeah, thank you for the question as always, Game Orca. All right, this is a random opportunity, but you guys, you guys like, well, I shouldn't say you guys. Some people here like to hear me complain, and so I'm gonna complain about something. Do you guys get do you guys get spam call? I don't know about in other countries. In America, at least for me, I assume the other Americans, I get so many spam calls these days. It's so annoying. I've gotten like two in the last hour, and every time it happens, my watch buzzes, my smartwatch buzzes, and then I'm like, oh, maybe something cool's happening, and then it's a stupid spam call. And if I have my like earbuds in and I'm listening to music, I'm just enjoying my life, listening to some music, and then someone calls, and then it messes up my music, and I'm very, very upset. So it's not good. There's my your free ability to hear me complain today, because that's so annoying. And if it doesn't happen to you in other countries, whatever country you're listening from, not in the US, well, I'm extremely happy for you, because it's so annoying, dude. It is really, really annoying. And it's weird. Like, it's not really a big deal, but it's really like, let me tell you. Hold on, let me get my phone here. Let me tell you how many in the last. Let's do a week time frame. And let's do a week time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. Well, I guess that's not really that bad. Okay. It sounds, I guess it's being dramatic, but like that's still a decent amount. That's over one a day, every day of a stupid spam call. And I don't know. I guess they just happen to happen at annoying times. Maybe there's good times when they could happen, but they like the percentage of the time I wear my earbuds for like an hour a day, right? Like 2 30-minute walks with Jax, usually roughly an hour a day. And I swear the amount of time they hit in that small time frame is stupidly high. It's a dumb high percentage. I mean, mathematically, right? An hour of 24 hours is like 4% of the day, right? It's up 4 point something percent of the day. Somehow they hit it so freaking often, dude. I don't get it. Don't ask me how. But that 4%, they be hitting it real good. Okay, so I don't know, man. It's very annoying, but yeah, that's it. That's in America. I don't know about your other countries, Canada or frickin' New Zealand or Italy or any other country that might be listening. The Philippines, I don't know if y'all get them, but we do be getting them here a lot. And I'm curious if other people. Is it just me, Kel? Do you get freaking spam calls all the dang time? I don't know because it happens in exorbitant amount of the time, in my opinion. And honestly, 8 might be a slow week. Some days I get like 4 in one day. I've already gotten multiple today. So yeah, I don't know. It's very annoying. But yeah, there you go. Your free Raichu complaint day of the day. I know. Raichu complained for a whole 3 minutes. Oh, that's that guy is well, cancel the Raichu. He's so annoying. But yeah. So that was just my random tangent. But I mean, other than that, guys, there's not a whole lot left to say. You know, we've got 3 weeks left. I think we're gonna hit some Choo Choo Charles, and I'm still kind of chewing on what we're gonna do with the final stream of the year. I realized, like, right, like at first I was like, oh, I could stream on New Year's Eve. It's fine. Like, I don't know if I'm doing anything, so I could just stream it anyway. But realistically, that's not like people are gonna have trouble watching on New Year's Eve because y'all might have stuff to do. So realistically, I think on that final week of the year, it's going to be a Monday stream for me. I think it's got to be a Monday stream on the 30th. We'll do our normal streams the week of the 17th and the 19th. We'll do those normal streams. Then Christmas week, I mean, I guess we're probably going to be off because yeah, I don't see when I'd be able to stream. I'm gone all those days. So Christmas week we're off, and then we'll probably just do one final stream. So we really only have like 3 streams left this year: the 17th, the 19th, and the 30th, most likely, unless I throw in something wacky and random to kind of fill out the schedule. But I don't know how much of an opportunity I'm going to have to do that because of these next 20 days left in the year, I'm out of town for like almost half of them. So it's going to be a challenge. But yeah, we'll figure it out. There's a minimum of 3 streams left this year. I don't know if I'll be able. Maybe I can just stream on a Sunday. We can stream on a Sunday and raid Otterly. Stream on a Saturday and raid Game Orca. I don't know. We could try to do one of those, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't want to overcommit either because we have the podcast. We're still cranking out the podcast, even with all the freaking family stuff and holiday stuff. The podcast is going to be coming out every week as normal. So. Yeah, there's a lot to do. There's still a lot to do for the rest of the year, but we're going to try to get through it and do it all because that's what we do. That's what we do. The Raichu believes in doing things real good, and well, good is maybe an exaggeration, but Raichu does things. Okay, who is that? There's someone that's their name on. Isn't that someone on Twitch and their name is like something does things? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Is that a Twitch streamer? I don't know, but yeah, I do things too. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a Kingdom Hearts episode, and then we're gonna probably have a Choo Choo Charles episode. But maybe we won't play Choo Choo Charles because I probably can't beat it in one stream. So maybe we'll save it until the start of the year. I'm not really too sure. We'll see. And then I think on the New Year's, the last stream of the year, quote unquote, we'll do like a recap stream, or maybe do that. What do you guys like, that quiz thing? What is that quiz thing called? Oh, I'm gonna have to ask Kato or Otterly. What is that thing called? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the quiz thing. You guys love it. Kahoot? Is that what it's called? Kahoot? We're gonna have to do some Kahoot, I think. Maybe we'll do some Kahoot and we'll ask some questions that you guys can answer. Spoiler, here's a bonus. Spoiler alert for those of you who listen to the podcast. There'll probably be a question like, how many podcast episodes have we been completed? So make note of that before that last stream of the year. There's a little freebie that you can do your homework before the stream. It's so funny that I say that though, because I know y'all are we're gonna be on the stream and y'all are gonna be smashing your fingers on the keyboard because you have like 15 seconds, so it's gonna be like furious keyboard smashing. Go to YouTube, find out how many episodes there are. It's gonna be funny, but yeah, there's a little bonus for you podcast listeners. There'll probably be a podcast themed question or two. Because you know what? The podcast has been, we talked about like all the aspects of the Raichu community, right? The stream, the YouTube videos daily, the podcast, and then the community events, and then the kind of the community as a whole. So there's like 5 key aspects, and the podcast has become quickly a key aspect of the Raichu cinematic universe, the direct Raichu cinematic universe. And then there's like the indirect Raichu cinematic universe, like all the streams that are tangentially related to us, like all the people in our community, like Chili Mex or Kelmori stream or Game Orchestra stream or Otterly stream or I don't know. I'm just naming people that I know are listening to the podcast, but there's like 50 trillion other people in our community that also stream. So we got such a great cinematic universe. Someone mentioned that sometime and they're like the vaRAIety cinematic universe, and they actually didn't know that was a real thing that we've joked about for years now. But yeah, the vaRAIety cinematic universe is canon. And it continues to grow, and I think it will continue to grow. And that's exciting because we've got a lot of good things. 2025 is a bounce back year in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, we talked about, and it's kind of funny that I'm doing this this recap, like this. It feels like the end of the year, but there's still like 2 more podcast episodes after this. It's not the end of the year, but I don't know. It's just fun to reminisce, and there's gonna be a lot of good things to come in 2025. So yeah, I think that's what the stream schedule looks like the rest of the year. The podcast schedule will be, of course, on the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. We're going to keep uploading our daily YouTube videos. We're almost caught up, and it's impressive. We're almost caught up with VODs that I've uploaded onto YouTube from Twitch, because I'm almost always behind. But with this regular YouTube upload schedule, it's enabled me to get caught up in that. So that's wonderful. Omori's going great. We are cruising through that. About 4 episodes a week being uploaded, so still a long time. A lot more Omori, but we might up the upload rate a little bit if I can get ahead more in episodes. That's kind of the challenge, right? Is like, it's really been hard for me to scrape out like an hour or 2 of free time to record those episodes. I was able to record on today's Wednesday. I was able to record a good amount on Sunday, which I was happy about, because Monday I was just kind of burnt out. Well, plus I was recording part of the podcast. Tuesday, as you guys know who watched the stream, I felt like shit. So I was very thankful that I didn't have to do too much, because I was not feeling good. But then today, Wednesday, I'm feeling fan-frickin-tastic. I got the best sleep I've gotten in quite a while. It was so I have my Aura ring, which is like my health tracker thing, and I got an optimal in my readiness and sleep scores today, which does not happen very often. So there's like a readiness score, which the readiness score is just basically like how you're feeling for the day. And I got a freaking 86 on readiness. I don't know if I've ever got an 86. It means that I basically just did everything amazingly, above and beyond. Yeah, that's what it said. So that means like a really good, and sleep was fantastic. 7 hours and 50 minutes. I went to bed right at 11 on the dot. I said goodnight to the Game Orchestra stream and went immediately to bed. I got a 90% on my sleep efficiency. So yeah, I did real good. So today I'm feeling great. We're getting everything done with the podcast and everything, so I can go out of town tomorrow. Well, it would be 3 days ago by the time you listen to this podcast, but I'm going to go out of town, see some family, and then return back and be ready to crush it. So you guys will see this on the normal upload schedule. Along with everything else, I've already got my Omori episodes preloaded, ready to upload while I'm gone. This will be preloaded today to upload on Sunday. And I don't know, man. Today I feel real good. I guess you always feel real good, like right before you have a couple days off work to do something, whatever it may be. So I guess you always feel great about that. But yeah, I feel great today. Very powerful, great night of sleep. I'm enjoying some delicious coffee right now as I sit in my little corner of this void and talk to you guys and get ready for tomorrow, because there was a lot of stuff I was doing. Man, it's been a hellacious couple days, but we got through it. And today I don't have a headache. Hooray, right? It's rare. Like, I don't get headaches often. Yesterday I just did not feel good, which was upsetting. It was not upsetting. I consider myself a fairly like strong-willed individual. Like, I'm not like, I don't let myself get trampled over too easily. But listen, when I feel like crap, like yesterday, I was a little whiny guy. I was like, oh God, I don't feel good. I was such a little whiny bitch. But we got everything done we needed to. I took Jax out after the stream, and then I was there on the Game Orchestra stream, and my headache was resolving. So thank you, headache, for going away. I appreciate that, because that was not a fun day. Not a fun day. But yeah, today's a better day. Tomorrow, probably even better. So guys, that is all we have for you this week. I hope that you enjoyed like I said, I have some podcast guests in my brain that I haven't exactly talked to yet, but stay tuned. I think it's going to be some interesting people we can talk to. I mean, I have a long list, but it's just like maximizing who I ask and who I uh, lean into for those favors. I mean, I don't want to ask people who don't want to be here. If you don't want to hang out with me for 2 hours or 3 hours, then I understand. So I want to ask people that want to be here. So hopefully, I've got a few people in my pocket that I need to ask, and we'll see how that goes. And I hope that they'll want to come on the podcast and we can have some guests because it's always fun to have guests. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's about it. Thank you, as always, for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this week's lovely episode, and we will see you next week for more of the same. Until then, take care, much, much love, and have a wonderful week.